Hey everyone, welcome back to Williamson Ridge Outdoors. Today, as you can see, we are standing by some pretty good sized logs, and I've already been cutting on these a little bit, but you know, I just kind of got out here this morning and was just got into cutting firewood, and I thought, you know what, I don't have my camera with me, so I better go get that stuff and kind of just document, you know, these trees. These are some big maple trees right here. This is going to be a lot of firewood between this big log here and then the one back here behind it. They are going to be a little bit of work though, so I'm going to have to cut these up, and I really don't want to try to wrestle these around and put them on the splitter and try to get them to split, because you know, once you get that weight up there on the splitter, unless you have a box wedge or something like that where you can just keep running that same piece over and over, with a 4-way or 6-way wedge, that's really the biggest downfall to those, is that once you get that piece of wood up there and it splits into pieces, then those pieces got to go somewhere, and sometimes they're really hard to handle whenever they're this big. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting these into rounds, and then I'm going to put them on their side, and I'm going to saw them into quarters probably, and then I should be able to manage them pretty good on the splitter that way. So like I was saying, I've already got them started, and I've got the lengths. I wasn't able to get all the way cut through there, so I brought the tractor down here, and I'm going to roll that log over and then be able to finish my cuts and be able to get them into those pieces to be able to kind of process them down. And I think I'm actually going to bring the dump trailer down here and then load all them quarters and stuff up into the dump trailer and then take it up to the wood yard and just dump it all out at one time. So anyways, let's quit talking and get right to work. So we're going to be using the Stihl MS500i today with a 25-inch bar. It don't... Well, as you can see, we got us a pretty good sized trailer load of wood here. This is all maple, and I'm pretty sure it's like water maple or sugar maple or something like that. It seems to be fairly soft, but it was a huge tree, and this actually is only those two pieces that I initially had laying there. It's taken me most of the day to kind of get that sawn up and then quarter it up and get it into these chunks that are pretty well manageable. But man, do I like noodling. Like, that's really fun to turn that log up on the side and have your chain nice and sharp, and that chain just pulling out them long slivers of shavings and stuff. It's just really fun to do that. So even though he's out here trying to get some firewood, he's actually having a good time doing it. It did leave behind a nice big pile of shavings, which this stuff here is actually on my little gravel road up through here. And I want to go get my leaf blower actually and blow all this off of here. I don't want all these wood shavings laying here and rotting and, you know, going down in the top of the gravel, because that's going to make that soft, and plus it'll hold water and make soft spots in the drive. So I am going to go get my leaf blower and blow all this stuff out and probably kind of put it over in the edge of the woods. But look at these shavings. These are some nice long slivers. When your chain's good and sharp, you can get that kind of stuff, and it's just kind of fun doing that. So as you can see though, these pieces, even though they're in quarters, they are still very big, but that's where the log lift is going to come in handy, because now I can kind of manage them and be able to get them to the lift. And then once they're up on the splitter and you bust it into 4 pieces again, then those are actually going to be very manageable by that time. So I'll have to resplit these a bunch of times but there's gonna be a lot of firewood out of it. I was actually pleasantly surprised just out of those 2 logs how much is actually here. So by the time this gets split down into actual firewood size pieces, I don't think that there's gonna be quite a full cord here, but I would say that there's actually, I'd say there's probably 3/4 of a cord here out of these 2 logs. So now I'm gonna take the trailer up to my splitter and I'll just back it right in there close to it and then dump it, and then all that wood will be pretty close to where I need to work with it. But first, before I do, I've actually got a huge pile of wood sitting up there beside the splitter right now. So I'm gonna make my way up there and do some wood splitting. That'll be on another video. So until then, thanks for following along today, and we'll see you on the next one.